Manchester United 7, Brighton 6. It went through to penalties. Not something we wanted, but Micah, talk to me, man. How was that game for you?
That game is so nerve-wracking. I mean, I think if you go back and watch the match view, I was literally on the floor on my knees praying for De Gea to save one. He didn't save one, but listen, we won 7-6 on penalties, and I'm just so excited. We're going back to Wembley, second final this season, in Ten Hag's first season, so you can't ask for much more.
So United get it done, obviously, in penalties. It's not what we wanted. There's loads of nerves in the studio. But throughout the 90, the original football minutes played, what did you think of our performance?
Initially, I think our first half was poor, quite mediocre. We kind of gave the game to Brighton and told them to come on to us. We kind of started like that again in the second half, but I think when Fred came on, he really did change the match for us. We were able to push up higher, press higher, win the ball in good positions. But then again, Bruno had to go off, so that brought us down again. But other than that, I don't think we played bad, but I think at the end of the day, we have injuries and we have to adjust for these injuries. So I can't really complain with how we played, but I'm happy that we got the win.
So compared to, previous seasons, United haven't, lived up to the heights and expectations of what Manchester United is. But as we see now, Ten Hag has brought Manchester United in. We've got a cup, and we're now through to a final. Do you think that this is the beginning of something that we can push on from?
Most definitely. People tend to forget that because we're doing so well this season, it's like we should be going for the highest honours. Really and truly, this is Ten Hag's first season. We've already won the Carabao Cup. We're in the FA Cup final. We're in top 4. Like, this is a brilliant season. We said this before the season. I said, and I'll never forget this, I said, I just want a style of play. Yeah. I want my team to play good football, like a Brighton or something, just so we have an identity. We've won a trophy and we're in contention to win another trophy against Man City in a derby one-off match. So, listen, this is the start of something new. Summer we rebuild, we come back, and next season, God knows what happens, because look what happened this season, you know what I mean? So we give it to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag we trust.
So looking at across the team, Ten Hag started with the strongest lineup that he could.
Yeah.
Was there anybody that stood out for you during the game?
Luke Shaw had a phenomenal game, and we had a little talk about Victor Lindelof, and I just want to stress how happy I am for Victor Lindelof. Like, he gets grouped with Maguire so much, and it's kind of disgusting, like the criticism that he gets, and he's a very, very good, technically gifted player, and he's not someone that I want to get rid of in the summer. He's a good squad player to have. I think Steph said towards the end that he often plays with so many different players, but he gives the same type of outcome, and that's the player that you want, a good, steady Eddie player. And it's nice to see that his penalty was the winning penalty, so he finally gets to kind of come out of Maguire's shadow, that bad shadow you don't want to be in, and has the good side of him. And I'm just happy for Victor Lindelof. And Wan-Bissaka needs to get his plaudits. He won that match against Mitoma. Very, very good game. And overall, Ten Hag, we need to give his plaudits, because he had to change around that whole team and make a team that can compete against Brighton. We know Brighton's a very, very good side. So for what Ten Hag did in that game, give him his plaudits. And just, let's just support the team. The team is in growth. The team is changing. So I'm proud that we finally won. We won a penalty shootout. When was the last time we were able to say that? So
it's been a minute. It has been a minute. But you spoke about Lindelof. We on the stream we spoke about David De Gea. It is the hot topic in football at the moment, especially amongst Manchester United fans. How did you think his performance was today?
Honestly speaking, David De Gea is one of those players that's always going to divide the fan base. I think he had an okay game. He made some very good saves. He did give the possession away with his goal kicks and stuff. I can admit that. But what David De Gea does, he keeps us in games. And his saves during the game, especially the one where Mitoma almost slid in and got the ball, if he doesn't do that, Mitoma scores, we don't get penalty shootouts. Yeah. Although De Gea didn't save any penalties, we were there to win it. And he got us there. And that is the things that people say, that De Gea keeps us in games. He keeps us in competitions just from his saves alone. He has a lot to improve on. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't get rid of him, because maybe I would and get a better keeper in. But I don't think it's a pressing issue that we need to solve right now. Yeah. Other than that, his game today, 7. A nice 7, I think, steady 7.
Yeah, so. No, we'll get onto the scores a bit later, but you're saying around a 7.
Yeah, around a 7, he's all right.
Cool. Looking at sort of like how Ten Hag set up today, he went with, Casemiro, Eriksen. what's your thought process behind Eriksen? Because he's supposed to be our ball playing midfielder. Yeah. What do you think about his performance quickly?
Eriksen is one of those players that you need to have the right game for him. This was not the right game for him. We didn't have possession of the ball. When Man United dominates possession of the ball, he's unplayable. But because Brighton had the ball, we couldn't get the ball back, and when we did, he didn't have enough time on it, and he kept giving the ball away. It just wasn't the right game for him, and Fred was the right player to play today and showed him what was needed to be done. Get the ball, win it back, play it quickly, and that was the type of game. And we exploited Brighton with a Rashford chance, Anthony charge. You know what I mean? So listen. It's just not Eriksen's day, but he is a good player, and when we get better and hold possession, we're going to see the best of Eriksen.
Yeah. And finally, just quickly, do Manchester United go and win it against City?
110%. We're going to go there and we're going to beat them. We're going to go to the Wembley and we're going to beat them. And listen, two trophies in one season, you can't top that. And Ten Hag, we trust. That's it.
All right, bro. Bless us always.